Hi, everyone. EPBA President Matt Kruger. I hope everyone's been doing really well. I understand that everyone's been following the videos that we've been providing. Tonight, we have from Primerica, we have Samir and we have Maren. We felt that today would be a good day, and with everything that's been happening with everyone, due to the insurances and the policies and things that people need even more now for their families, we felt that this would be the best way to do this one-on-one interview with them and really just give you guys, our members, our officers, a better visual of what could be offered through their benefits and their packages and insurance. So with further ado, I'm going to introduce Samir and Maren. Samir, you have the floor right now. How long have you guys been doing this? Like, how long have you been in this business, and why do you do it? Like, what's up with this? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, that's a great question. Great way to start out. I just want to say before I begin that, what you guys do is extremely important. Me personally, I appreciate it. I know the risks that you guys take. And I'm so excited about being able to sit down with you guys and give you this information. If nothing else, educate the people that are a part of this organization. So I started with this business when I was 22 years old. I was a biochemistry major. I was going to be a pharmacist. And I left medical school to start in financial services because, if you guys are anything like me, anyone that's listening to this, I grew up completely financially ignorant. And as a pharmacist, I was going to make money, but no one actually taught me what to do with it. Even in school, I took all kinds of classes on how to be a scientist, how to be a medical professional, because they were gearing us to make money, but there was no education behind that. So someone would view me as, with a medical degree as someone who's very educated, but that doesn't mean that I'm financially educated. And my friends and I, we saw a huge need and a huge void in the education system in terms of teaching people about finance. And, when you think about it, you get a paycheck, but it doesn't come with instructions, right? And that's why the statistics are where they are today. So we made a decision that we were going to leave behind our old careers and we were going to start a financial services company. And I don't want to go too long here on this question, but just 10 more seconds on this. The reason why I chose Primerica, I could have been with any wealth management firm out there, but the reason I chose Primerica is because this is the only company that I could find that didn't have a minimum asset requirement. Most wealth management firms, they want you to come in with wealth if you want service. So if you already have a bunch of money, you can go to any company and you can get service. Or you have to go to a company that will give you products, but then you don't get the service. You have to talk to somebody on the phone or a 1-800 number. Here, we can give you service with no minimum asset requirement. And so that's why I chose this company. And I've been here for 17 years. I've never been transferred to any other company. I've never moved my clients because of the mission statement that our company has, which is to help middle income families.
So 17 years you've been involved in this business and this service. And out of all that time, when you're helping each client, it's a one-on-one, right? It's not where we're going to call someone all the time and then all of a sudden, hey, I got to wait. I got to make a phone call later on. I mean, there is standards with other things with maybe the internet and stuff like that, but we're dealing one-on-one. We're going to be dealing one-on-one and we're taking care of our families. Is that pretty much what you
That's correct. I mean, I used to call an appointment a kitchen table appointment because I would drive to the client's home and I would do the presentation one-on-one at the kitchen table. Now, obviously with COVID, we're in a little bit different environment. We do things like this, Zoom or whatnot, but yes, everything is one-on-one. Everything is catered. Everything is customized. It's not a cookie cutter approach.
I think a lot of the members and a lot of the cops that are on our agency now, they don't like that cookie cutter approach. They like that one-on-one. I need that help right now. I have a question. I want to email or I want to call directly and get that answer. It seems like you guys figured that out. And especially with the 17 years of what you have, you guys figured it out. Maren, how long and really, what do you like about the company, Maren? I have two questions for that for you. Like, what do you like about the company so far, and how long do you think with your experience and what your knowledge has been able to give, I mean, even for us to even link up, how do you feel about your company?
I mean, I've never regretted my decision to jump all in with Samir and our team. Primerica has been a blessing that I never, I wasn't even looking for. Well, I shouldn't say that. I was sort of looking for, but, I'm a dental hygienist by degree, but, when COVID happened, it became really scary for our industry. And some people have offices that are that are taking the precautions necessary, but I just took it as a way for me to sort of decide what I wanted to do when I grew up. And I've never looked back. I absolutely love it. The knowledge and the support and what we offer, what we can do for people, especially now with what the world's going through. I love it. I'm grateful.
That's amazing. That's amazing for you. I'm glad you found that. So what do you do both at Primerica? Like Samir, you have the floor. What do you do? What is your specialty right now?
As the owner of the brokerage, I always have two key things that I'm looking to do. I have to constantly and consistently grow my organization. So I'm not just helping clients, although that does consume a good amount of my time, but I'm also hiring and training new agents. Just like any brokerage model, whether it's real estate or mortgage, insurance, investments, I have to have new agents coming in. So that is a large part of what I do. So I'm not just a financial advisor, but I also own an agency. So I'm constantly looking for new talent that I can recruit.
Maren, you too. Like, what are we doing? What are you doing right now for them?
What do I do for them?
Yeah, sure. What are you doing?
Yeah, so my goal is to be where Samir is. I say by this time next year. So that's my goal. And, just helping families, just helping protect them and helping Samir grow, our office. We work together, locking arms and just, he's my mentor. I mean, he teaches us all a lot. So, yeah.
So working with us, why do you think it would benefit the members?
I think that there's a lot of benefit. Like I mentioned, there's going to be service, there's going to be customization, but I think that a lot of the angst that comes from a lack of financial knowledge is just not having any direction. And so what we do is we sit down and we figure out, what are your goals? Your goals are going to be different than mine. I'm not married. I don't have children. Most of my clients do though, right? And so if you're single, you have a certain set of goals. If you have children, you have a different set of goals. If you're just married, no kids. So we're going to figure out what your situation is, and we're going to give you direction, and we're going to give you goals, and we're going to put you on a plan of action to actually achieve those goals. And it's amazing. I get so much feedback from my clients. Side note, in my 17 years, anyone that has opened an investment account with me, no one has ever left my book. So my personal clients, no one has ever left. And the reason why is because we do these things. We update people's plans. And people tell me year after year how much better they feel about their financial situation and how, they go to bed at night feeling better. They wake up in the morning. They just have a positive outlook on their financial future because of the plan that we put together. So I think that's the number one benefit, is planning, goal setting, plan of action.
You hit the nail on the head. Plan of action, POA. That's amazing that you guys have that commitment and how no one's left. That's even great. That speaks volumes for a lot of people listening probably right now. And Maren has the aspect of having a family. So you guys can work that out, and you guys go back and forth, and you guys can pick each other's brain of what works in today's time. So that's even great. That's really good. That's amazing. Our police officers are in 9 counties and protect over 9 million livelihoods and very high importance commodity, the water supply system, right? So can your service protect them on duty and off duty incidences and their families? So could something, never wish ill will, but your service can protect our cops 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right? The services that we're providing for them from Primerica that you guys will.
Absolutely. I will say that when 9/11 unfortunately occurred, there was over 200 insurance companies that were involved in terms of how many received claims from 9/11. And Primerica was one of the handful of companies that didn't have a clause that prevented people from getting money. So we were one of the very few companies that actually paid out. A lot of, being in the company for 17 years, I know people in Primerica all across the nation. We have 5,000 offices. We have over 100,000 licensed agents. So it's a very large organization. And, when we get the bad news of something happening to a police officer, it's in the news, it's a high profile case. A lot of times I'll call the state where that occurred. And many, many times it is a Primerica policy that officer had. Again, because there's not many financial companies that are working with middle America. And so back to your question, absolutely 100%, they're going to be covered in every scenario.
How many times have you guys, and I know the last few months must have been chaotic, but how many times are you guys hearing, what should I do? Like with your clients, like what should they do? I understand you spoke a little bit about it earlier, Samir, about how you can critique and fit those elements to those people, but are there a lot of folks out there that, like you said, and even earlier about the paycheck, it's not that they're not tuned into it. It's just that sometimes the services that are provided, you guys have that expertise. You guys know what services are going to be provisional for that. And so do you get a lot, what should I do? Like, does that happen?
Yeah, absolutely. Because life changes bring on a whole new set of decisions and planning that people have to make. So Samir, I just had a kid. What should I do? Samir, I got married. What should I do? Samir, I got divorced. What should I do? Samir, I lost my job. What should I do? Samir, I changed jobs. What should I do? Samir, I got a raise. What should I do? I got a pay cut. What should I do? So, COVID happened. The market went down. What should I do? Now I'm retiring and what do I do now? So yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you have that long-term relationship with clients, you kind of go through those different stages of life with them. And that's when the what should I do question comes up.
And Maren, how have you been getting the same? Is that across the board for you as well?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I haven't been in as long as Samir has, but I think what I love about our company is that we're high tech, high touch. And I came across it today, somebody trying to reach out to another company's, their rep or whatever, and their phone was off. We are always available for people. And so I think that, Samir's clients getting a hold of him and saying, what should I do? I love that because we're always accessible. We're always here for them. And yeah, I mean, I've been helping a lot of stay-at-home moms, just helping to budget and, kind of educating individuals on the different services that we have. So it's been really amazing.
That's awesome. Your company offers many services-based products, future referred products of interest, for instance, investing in one's future and others. I think the other one was term life insurance and even debt solutions. Tell us, please, about investing for one person starting out and how that person can grow as their money income grows and as well as their family. So meaning a single person right now, like when we get new officers on, they're, most of the percent of the cops that come into the academy are single. So can their money grow as their steps grow? I mean, as they're pursuing their steps, meaning they have 6 years to get to their maximum pay, does that help benefit for you guys to narrow that down for them and say, hey, I know you're only making 42, but when you make 64, we have this plan, this overview?
Absolutely. I mean, that's something that we touch on in terms of the different investment options that are available to younger people, single people, people just getting started out. Go out and try to find a legitimate financial advisor with all the licenses, the kind of experience that we have that will open up an account for you for only $50 a month, where you are putting in only $50 a month. It doesn't exist. And that is why our company opens up 5% of all IRAs opened annually. So the entire country, 5% are opened by our company. The reason being is because we'll open one out for anyone who wants one. And the thing is when you sit down with parents who have started investment accounts for their younger children or younger adult children, those they're almost guaranteeing that those people will have over $1 million in assets when they reach retirement. So starting young is very, very important, and it doesn't take a lot, just $100 or $200 a month. And as you get those pay increases, as we continue to increase those investments, you're guaranteeing yourself based on past market performance. Nobody knows the future, but you're guaranteeing yourself a 7-figure retirement. So absolutely, you want to start young, and we have all types of plans and options for people in that situation.
A little bit more with the life insurance is a big topic lately, especially with all the health concerns and education of COVID-19. Maren, can you share any experiences, any knowledge on this matter right now? For instance, if someone just unfortunately got COVID, could they just get a life insurance policy the next day?
Yeah, no, unfortunately, COVID's really impacted a lot of people. And, if you contract COVID, you actually are not eligible for life insurance up to 90 days from your positive test result. So that's scary. That's 90 days of, you don't know, tomorrow's never guaranteed at all. So yeah, good point.
Right.
I will say though, Matt, if you don't mind, we are being more lenient on that, as we're seeing that most people are asymptomatic and they don't have any major lasting symptoms. If you get a doctor's note saying that you're negative and you're 100% symptom free, then we can go ahead and we can get you locked in. During COVID, a lot of insurance companies got scared and they scaled down the level of product that they were offering just because they didn't know how bad COVID was going to get. We didn't do that. We offered the same products, the same underwriting process. The only thing is, if you currently have COVID, I mean, yeah, that's going to be a difficult situation. We want to see you come out of that, and hopefully you're back to 100% very quickly, and then we can go ahead and we can get you started with you.
There's a couple of things that do take place in a lot of the officers' livelihoods sometimes. Things come up suddenly if they didn't plan ahead, or things that just happen medically or unfortunately anything that can happen in their livelihoods. We deal with the legal aspect for them, and we try to walk them through, God forbid, if anything affects them personally, either through finances or even civil liability. Sometimes with civil liability and all those things happening, even medical costs or anything else, you get into debt. Do you have debt solutions with the company? Is there something that you guys provide in that side aspect? Both of you can answer the question.
We do, Matt. We do. There's many different avenues that you can take with debt. I'm not a huge fan of debt consolidation companies. And when we go one-on-one with individuals, if they're looking into that, I can tell them what to kind of look out for. But we do an analysis. We want to know, how many different credit lines do you have? Are you behind? Are you paying the minimum? Are you paying a little bit more? What are the various interest rates? And we put this into a software to figure out if there's a better and more efficient way to pay down that debt. Are there things that are more urgent in terms of your debt situation and others that are less? Are you overpaying on one credit line when you should be just paying the minimum, and you can overpay on a different one? So absolutely, we spend the time, we do the analysis. Because we also do mortgages, there's a chance there that a refinance could be in play. But again, I don't want to say anything before I actually sit down and see somebody's situation.
Walk our members over a plan that you would offer to a single police officer. And if you want to chime in with the family, that's fine. But mostly for the single police officers right now, what kind of plan do you think we can get them? Like, just right off the bat, something as an example for them.
Right off the bat, I would recommend that they start some type of investment account, preferably a Roth IRA. That's only going to be available to you while you're under a certain income. So when you reach the max income, you may not qualify for a Roth IRA. And a Roth IRA is the only way to have a 100% tax-free retirement. That means that when you retire, let's say that account is $500,000, $1 million, you can pull all of that money out 100% tax-free. Very few people either know about this or talk about this, or by the time they know about it, they're either making too much or they're just older and they missed out on all those early years of compounding. So with younger people, my number one priority with them first thing, order of business is to get that investment account started. Like I mentioned before, it doesn't have to be a lot of money. It can be as little as $50 a month, but savings is a habit, right? And we have to be the type of people when we're planning, we want to pay ourselves first. We can't pay everybody else first and then there's nothing left for us, right? We got to pay ourselves first. So that's the first thing. The other thing is, if you don't have a family, there's not a huge need for life insurance. But what people forget is that your ability to get life insurance can change. If you, God forbid, get sick and you no longer medically qualify, just because you want it later when you do have a spouse and a child, it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to qualify. So we recommend younger people, even like myself, I got my first policy at 22 years old because I said, hey, you know what? One day I will have a wife, I will have kids. And at that time, I don't want to be medically disqualified. So it's good to lock in early. Not anything huge. It can be $20, $30 a month, but let's lock in early and get into something just in case later on we don't qualify.
We have a program. I don't know. I've been researching a little bit more and more, but we have different insurance policies, life insurance policies that are already given to the officers from the welfare fund and stabilization fund from the city of New York. We also have retirement funds set up called a census. Sometimes when officers do get promoted out, they are able to take all that money out and then invest in others. We can actually you guys can do that. You can plug in and out and suggest where that money could be invested if that does happen. If a promotion happens or if they retire early, they can take that money out and still plug it into your system. Is that correct?
Absolutely. And that's actually a big part of what consumes the most time in terms of what I'm doing with my personal clients, because in today's day and age, people are changing careers every 5 to 7 years, or at least changing companies. And so when we leave a company, we take all our pictures off, the cubicle, we take our supplies. A lot of times we leave the money there, which doesn't make a lot of sense, right? We have to take our money with us and we have to privatize that money. So I help my clients privatize the money, because when you privatize the money and you move it outside of your employer into, let's call it, depending on the situation, a regular IRA, now you have unlimited options. You have lower fees. You have a financial advisor. And under those circumstances, we assume that you're going to get a higher rate of return. Whereas where it is right now, your employer had chose some limited set of options for you. So you're going from a limited situation to an unlimited situation. Plus now it's privatized. Only your name is on it. You've separated from the company. So yes, we have the capability of doing that. And
Maren, just to clarify, you can take that with you, right? Like you don't need to stay in that job. You can go to another job. Samir mentioned it. He goes, you go through 5 or 7 jobs in your lifetime with that stuff. So if I lived in New York and I say, hey, you know what? I don't want to live in New York anymore. I want to go to Florida. You can take those, right? It doesn't matter the state.
They're portable. Yes, they're portable. You take them with you. Yep. So like a lot of times with companies, if you have life insurance through your company or if it's offered, once you leave, unfortunately, you can't take that with you. So yeah, everything we have is portable.
So the safe bet would be is if something was happening where transitions of unions and people might be stealing money, we would be able to, you guys can still secure them if they need to go somewhere else and do all that, right? You provide that cushion of support so their money's not missing at the end because it's individual.
Exactly. And a lot of times money is in limbo. Companies change people's funds around without their permission because they have the right to do that, right? So we want to make sure that we privatize that so you have all the control and we always know where that money is.
Excellent. That's very excellent. All right, Primerica, folks. This is it. This is the people. These are the faces. We want you guys to call them. We want you to call them. We want you to pick their brains. We want you to set whatever up. You don't need to jump in right away, but they sound very, very enthusiastic that they want to help us. So the best thing for us to do is pick their brain, call them. Please look at the top and the bottom of the screen. And so you can reach out. Maren is always available. I can tell you right now, I'm always texting her, asking her questions. Samir is a very busy guy, but he sounds like he can get to his clients right away. Maren is going to be taking the ropes on that, folks. I think that that's the best move for us right now. even for our benefits and insurance, is to make those moves as we progress forward. Guys, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. I think we're going to do another one of these very soon, just to update more and see if there's any transition, depending probably in the new year coming up. A lot of things changing with COVID, a lot of stuff happening with the tests and stuff like that. People are very upset, but very good, very good, very good. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Having us, Matt.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thanks.